Ukraine, talked to political activist Basil Miroshenchenko. Thanks very much indeed for being with us, Basil. What more can you tell us about this report of armed men in military uniform seizing this regional airport?
Good morning. It is unclear who these people are. From what we know, they have seized the airport, but the airport continues to work as normal. Planes are landing and planes are taking off. They have brought the Black Sea Navy flag with them. This is a Russian flag. However, there is not much information about them. We don't really know who they are.
And there is a prospect, at least, of Russian troops entering that part of the Ukraine. They were put on standby by Mr. Putin yesterday. How likely is that, do you think?
I think it is unlikely. However, Russia is, and the Kremlin is doing everything possible to sort of intimidate and contribute to the escalation of tension. They're conducting exercises on the borders with Ukraine. And I think the world is watching. Chuck Hagel, the U.S. Defense Secretary, made a statement last night saying that they are watching very closely. And everything that is being done now in Crimea is just done by Kremlin to undermine the new government in Ukraine and to contribute to instability here.
Having said that, it's only fair to point out there are a lot of people in that part of your country who would welcome Russian intervention.
You have to keep in mind, you need to look at the history of Crimea. Crimea has been populated by indigenous people who are called Crimean Tatars. After the Second World War, they have been brutally deported to Uzbekistan, to Central Asia. Most of them died on the way there. When Ukraine declared independence, the Crimean Tatars have been returning to Ukraine, and they now constitute a large part of the population of Crimea. Indeed, we have many Russians who came to Crimea after the Second World War. Some of them are sympathetic with Russia, which is okay. However, there are many Russians there who favor the status of Crimea as it is now part of Ukraine.
Okay, we expect at least the former president to make a statement later today. We're not entirely sure where he is precisely. What do you think he's going to say, and do you think there's any real prospect of him returning?
I don't think there is any prospect of him returning, but according to the news reports, he's supposed to do a press conference today in Rostov upon Don, which is actually the city, a Russian city, which is the closest to Donetsk, which is just across the border from Ukraine. I think currently the fact that he's in Russia, if he's in Russia, he will just say what Putin wants him to say. And he can make a statement that he's a legitimate president and this was a coup d'etat in Ukraine. And this will only escalate the tension in Ukraine that we have. However, it's still unknown and unclear what exactly he's going to say.
What about the prospects for your country? You've got an interim government in there now. You're hoping you can proceed with the will of the majority of people. But the fact of the matter is your country is financially in a pretty parlous state. Can you exist without help from countries like the UK and the rest of Europe?
No, we really now need the support of the international community. We need the support of the IMF, of the EU, of the UK. While currently the Ukraine's economy is in dire state, there are a number of immediate issues which have to be addressed, and it's very important to negotiate a bailout deal for Ukraine. It is crucial now for the stability and security in Europe.
Basil, thank you very much indeed for taking time out to talk to us.
Thank you very much.
6:22. We leave the Ukraine for what is, let's be fair, the far more superficial and sugary world of Hollywood. The Oscars, only 2 days away. But how is Hollywood preparing for